almost that time. This is the NBA on 2K Sports. Hi, everyone. Kevin Harlan, joined by Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. With our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Pacers looking to make the most out of their home court advantage here in Indianapolis. And here we go with a look at the State Farm starting lineups. And guys, taking a look at Dwayne Wade, what will we see from him?
And Kevin, he's really solidified his role as the closer on this team. You know, Miami struggled to figure out whether they go to LeBron or Bosh or Wade at first. I think Wade has become the guy.
Well, I tell you what, it's nice to have two guys that are capable of closing, Steve. And I agree with you, though. His aggressiveness and confidence probably give him a slight edge in closing over LeBron. You can play great defense on him, but he still typically finds a way to get the shot he wants.
Now, here is Hill. Good. Hill's got the game going with his first points of the game for the Pacers.
I like it. He could have gone for the forced finish, but opted instead for kind of the nice, smooth finger roll. I like it.
19 seconds left in the first quarter. Back to West. Good look. Good, and it's Hill picking up the assist. And here's Haslam. Chalmers dishes to Wade. Here's the three. It's rebounded by Roy Hibbert. Tipped away. And so the first quarter is in the books. And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Pacers?
Just the start they wanted to this game. Solid offense. They got good ball movement. Established a nice rhythm.
Yeah, not stagnant at all. Free-flowing and fluid at the offensive end.
DJ Augustine out there with Lance Stevenson. Then there's Ian Mahinmi. Then it's Paul George. And it's Granger in at the power forward. That's the five to begin the second quarter for the Pacers.
Well, Battier is an extremely smart defender. He's got the size to defend on the perimeter or some of the smaller inside guys. And with Battier, you know what you're getting offensively. An excellent spot-up shooter.
Well, there's a willingness there to defend, but also excellent anticipation. And that's why he's able to draw charges, because he's usually one step ahead of the offensive guy.
Catching up on the changes now for Indiana. David West, he's checked in for Mahinmi. Hansbrough comes in for George. And George Hills subbed in for Augustine. Looking at who's out there now for the Pacers. Hibbert comes in for David West. And it's George in for Lance Stevenson. The Heat also changing it up. LeBron, he's checked in for Battier. And Dwayne Wade is subbed in for Mike Miller. Here's Allen. Roy Hibbert picking up that last basket. Chalmers. And the basket good.
Looked like they found the soft spot in the defense there.
Hill with it.
Good idea. Hold on to the ball. Take the last shot of the quarter.
Yep.
He kicks to Hibbert. The dish to George. Back to Hibbert. And then panic dump.
It's not enough for the defense to just get into position. They've got to get in the way.
He took what they gave him and cashed in.
Yeah, he paid it off.
Yeah, in a big way. Superb finish.
And he'll be shooting his first free throw of the game here.
And he finished last season right around 71% from the line. Not exactly the best of percentages.
And that concludes the first half. It's the Pacers.
Now, presented by Sprint.
It's halftime, and I'm Damon Bruce, ready to bring you our halftime show. Indiana with a lead against Miami. With 2 quarters left to play, they've been an offensive juggernaut, scoring with impunity.
All right, the second half beginning in just a moment. You have to like what we're seeing from Roy Hibbert.
Yeah, and you know the numbers aren't that gaudy when you look at the box score. It's more about his energy and his impact.
You know, sometimes the stats can be misleading, but he certainly has been a big factor.
On the court for the Heat, Mario Chalmers in the electric D-Wade at the guards. Haslam and Bosh are up front, and it's LeBron at small forward. Indiana on D. They lead by their biggest margin of the game, 9. West with the steal. Tries to save it, and that's out of bounds. Indiana will retain possession. Indiana making some changes. Mahinmi's checked in for Hibbert. Granger comes in for George. And DJ Augustine subbed in for George Hill. Augustine against Allen. 11 feet away. Miami grabs the miss. Wide open. And he nails the jumper. Pacers leading by 7. And Augustine kicks it to West. Out of bounds. Pacers ball as Indiana keeps possession. Both teams deciding to change it up. There's 10 seconds left here in the third quarter. Here's George. LeBron with the block. He got it up. Got it off in time, but it's no good. And that's it for the third quarter. Both teams.
Your Pacers, 11.
Welcome back. Fourth quarter action starting up, and we're going to send it over to Doris Burke for the Sprite Uncontainable Game segment. Doris?
And Kevin, for that great stretch the Pacers put together, they get the Uncontainable Game Award. Some lockdown defense early on is what allowed them to build their lead. I'm guessing you can expect more of the same here in the fourth to finish the game.
All right, Doris, thanks. And the run Doris mentioned, guys, that was really a huge game changer here.
No question, Kevin. Probably the pivotal moment in the game so far, and I thought that really set the tone.
You know, one of the things that was interesting to me is you could see the body language of both teams change at that point. Obviously in different directions. Confident and assured on one side and a bit of chin in your chest on the other side.
They've got Paul George. West out there with Mahinmi. Then it's Lance Stevenson, and it's Hill in at the 1. So that's the group out there for Indiana.
Just cruising to the finish line.
Yeah, and barring something catastrophic happening, it looks like they'll go home with a nice victory here.
Kicks it out to Allen. Paul George with the steal. Now the Pacers moving it up.
Hammer time! Wow. Hammer time!
And they're closing this game out in style. I mean, I like what they're doing here, competing till the very end.
That's certainly what it looks like. I mean, there's no let-up in them so far.
And that one's good.
Nice job there. He knows how to get that ball in the bucket, doesn't he, guys?
8 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And now they decide to foul intentionally.
George Hill at the line for 2.
He drops the first one, and that makes it a 7-point lead. So both teams changing it up here. And so he drops them both. It's an 8-point game. Now Chalmers buries it from outside.
You know, on defense, even on an inbounds play, you can't leave three-point shooters alone on the perimeter. They paid for it there.
So it's Indiana picking up the win. Both teams